Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Monday. It is now February 16th, 2026. I'm Brad Panovich, Chief Meteorologist here at WCNC. This is your live weather impact tonight. The impacts we're going to be talking about will definitely be some of the rainfall we had yesterday, which, boy, was that beneficial. That was exactly what we needed. We need a lot more. It did not end the drought. I get a lot of questions about that. One rainy day isn't going to do that. But it was a substantial amount of rain, and it probably knocked about 10% of what we need over the next 30 days. So it definitely was a step in the right direction. Let's start tonight, though, with a view outside. This is our WCNC camera. That's the Billy Graham Parkway. At the bottom of your screen, sunset this evening was 6:08. It was gorgeous. We still got plenty of twilight ongoing out there. Your weather headlines tonight, kind of clear and cold with those clear skies. And with all the moisture on the ground, I do think we're going to see some pretty thick frost tomorrow morning, kind of a really good frost setup tomorrow morning. And then in the afternoon, we're going to see a nice warm-up. Temperatures climbing all the way back into the upper 60s, might even be close to 70. And yes, rain is back in the forecast. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Some high clouds, you can kind of see them off to the northwest of our camera. There's some showing up on the satellite imagery. We've got a big area of high pressure in the middle of the country, and that high is going to be drifting our direction. Now, unlike the last couple of warm-ups we've had, we're going to actually have some clouds and maybe showers around that could help keep temperatures in check. I mean, if we had full sunshine this week, I think we could threaten 80 by the end of the week, but the clouds and rain will likely keep us from there. But as I mentioned, tonight, I certainly do believe we're going to see some heavy frost in quite a few locations with low and mid 30s in the morning. But just like we have all this time of year, the quick turnaround, that diurnal change, temperatures are going to skyrocket back into the upper 60s, close to 70. That southwest wind, we love to call that the blowtorch, and it's living up to its name tomorrow. Now, if you've been sniffling and sneezing, you probably know this already, but the tree pollen is starting to show its head. It's not quite up there where I would say it's bad, but we're starting to sense it. And if you have tree allergies, you're noticing it. Juniper, elm, and alder, kind of the first ones. And you tend to see the pollen come out long before you see buds or even leaves. So before you even notice that, you're going to probably get sniffly and sneezy. And without much rain this week, we'll see it probably go up a little bit before the rain comes in later this week. Now, on average, historically, the tree pollen really starts in early March, which, again, is only like a week and a half away. The last couple of years, we've had record early starts. I think it was last year, the year before, we had a record early start in early February. It was crazy high. This year, it looks like because of our cold snap, we're probably going to start a little closer to average, if not maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. And again, it lasts all the way through April and May. So people always ask, when's it going to end? It's usually got to wait till mid and late May. There's no getting around it. You can't shorten the tree pollen season. You just can lengthen it more than anything. Now, this week is kind of interesting. With the southwest winds, we'll see some clouds, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, that could keep temperatures a little cooler than we expect. But it all depends on where that front sets up. If it sets up a little further north and we get into the sun, we easily could be pushing 80, I think, on Friday. And you'll see that reflected in my 7-day coming up in a minute. But the rain chances, yeah, they're back this week. This is what we need. This is a pattern more indicative of getting out of a drought. You just can't get one rainstorm and then go dry for another week. You kind of need a couple of these every 2 or 3 days this time of year to get you out of a drought. And, you don't want it all at once, so we'll get a couple more dry days for Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, just a 20% chance. Friday, 40%. Saturday will be interesting. I think we could see some thunderstorms possibly. Talked about how warm it's going to be. If we had sun, we could push 80, but that warm air and humid air could definitely provide some energy for some thunderstorms. You'll see the first part of this system. It's kind of a warm front, and it's kind of a messy look there on Thursday, just isolated showers. But as we get closer to Friday, Saturday, you can kind of see it looks like a cold front right there, and maybe a line of showers and storms sometime late Friday into Saturday. That potentially could help produce some rumbles of thunder. And again, we're kind of in that time of year, late February, early March, especially in a La Nina winter. We tend to get a lot of active severe weather at the end of the winter into early spring. Remember, spring meteorologically starts March 1st, which isn't all that far away. And then it turns much cooler for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They're signs we could be back below average for high temperatures, which means, temperatures below the average high, which is now in the upper 50s. But the next couple of days just gets warmer and warmer. We'll be near 70 the next couple of days. Thursday, certainly low 70s. And Friday, that's the day if we had full sun. I think we could have hit 80 degrees if we didn't have the clouds. Saturday with some showers and storms, still pretty mild, but then the cool down starts for Sunday into Monday, and that's a sign of some cooler temperatures heading our way. We've seen a little bit of everything over the last 10 days or so. We've seen some cool and warm weather. You could see the really cold stuff about 8 or 9 days ago, and then we had a really nice stretch of weather last week with temperatures jumping up into the low 70s, and then kind of just more typical, I would say, average February weather. Yesterday, the rain all day kept us in the 50s, but it really wasn't that cold because we started the day in the 40s. It just felt a little raw out there. Now, the weekend, like we've seen the last couple of weeks, we definitely have the potential for some rainfall again on the weekend, but it's not going to be the whole weekend. Unlike last weekend or just yesterday, it was more of a Sunday event. I think this could be more of a Saturday and maybe even an early Saturday event, with things clearing out pretty quickly as we go into Sunday. So potentially kind of another 50-50 weekend where half of it's okay and the other half not so great. But temperature-wise, you're looking at 60s on Saturday and probably 50s for Sunday, with temperatures in the morning pretty mild as well. Your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. A couple things to note here. Pretty warm highs, but the lows pretty warm as well. When you got lows in the low to mid 50s, maybe a low of near 60 Friday morning, that's a really warm stretch of weather. And so that's why potentially that Friday, Saturday time frame, depending on the cold front, we could see a scattered shower, thunderstorm, maybe a rumble of thunder. We'll go 10 days out, and we'll see that cool down. That arrives starting Sunday, but early next week definitely looks colder with temperatures below average. The morning lows dip back below freezing, which is now below average. Our average high now 57 and 35. We do have another chance of rain possibly in the next Thursday, so that's an encouraging sign to see that every 2 or 3 days, the potential for at least some rainfall coming back into the picture. So that's what we're looking at right now as we go towards the end of February. I do think we will eventually see another cold snap. I get the question all the time, are we done with winter? Usually not until you get past mid-March. Early March is always a very, very fickle time of year, so we got to watch those first 2 weeks of March for maybe one more blast of, maybe, I wouldn't say winter weather, but maybe a scare more than anything. And certainly you can get snow in the mountains all the way into early May. So coming up, Tim Buckley and I will talk about the big storm out west. We'll talk about the rain over the weekend, the drought, and a little bit of Artemis as well. Maybe we'll get into that coming up in 2 minutes, so stick around.